Hi everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the December 2020 monthly tarot reading for the sign of Aries. Please keep in mind, this is a general reading, so it may not apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So do take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac signs, and see which video's title resonates for you most. When it comes to the spread, I'll be pulling a Celtic cross using the intuitive and then clarifying with the Waite. We'll also, in this occasion, get 2 additional cards using the quantum oracle. So that'll be in relation to the energy crowning you at this time and also the potential outcome. So you'll have 2 additional oracle cards just for this particular reading. So, Aries, let's see what's coming up for you. So just while I shuffle your cards again, I want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing, and even sharing my videos. It means a lot to have your continued support, so thank you so much for being a part of this community. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you're informed of when your next set of readings goes up on the channel. If you would like a personal reading with myself, you can find the information in the description box below. So the first card you have in your present circumstances is the Queen of Wands. So I believe that's you, Aries, okay? Fire energy. So I feel like you are feeling pretty confident, okay? You're feeling like you're in a position where you can draw in, it's kind of like being magnetic, you know? It's being in that energy of not having to put too much force or take too much, you know, or trying to control things or manipulate things. It's just being in that energy of knowing that because I'm in a certain vibration, because I have that creative, passionate fire in my belly, all I have to do is keep my vibe high and I will attract what's meant for me, right? It's kind of like I'm getting that kind of like magician energy, but rather than taking up all of your tools and putting it into the pot and conjuring up a spell or making something happen, I feel like this is you simply just attracting what is meant for you. So that's really, really positive. Crossing the situation and being very confident and knowing that, so that's very good. Crossing the situation though in your challenge is the 10 of Swords. So letting go of something that's very painful, releasing it, or letting go of pain itself, okay? So that's going to be the challenge for you, because I feel like that's the only thing that can dampen your confidence at this time, is something that still brings you a lot of sadness and pain that you may have been carrying for some time now, okay? Or just having to come to the realization that it's time to let go of something. When it comes to your recent past, you have the 7 of Swords, okay? So this is specifically air energy. Sorry, my brain just kind of tapped out for a second then. Yeah, so this is about you feeling like, okay, you moved out of a situation into, you came out of a situation, moving into something new, thinking it was going to bring you more peace of mind, more clarity, that it was more aligned with your vision, right? It made sense in your mind, but then when you actually got there, you realized that this wasn't anything like you envisioned, and that where you were before was actually better than where you're at now. That's what I'm getting, you know? Like in the traditional right away, you see a man walking carrying 5 swords, but he's left 2 behind. So he's going off thinking that he's heading off to greener pastures, not realizing that the grass is not greener on the other side, and that actually the only reason why you seem that way is because you were looking from a distance and possibly from a certain angle. But once you get there, you realize actually it's not greener at all. If anything, it was greener where I was. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this. You coming to the realization that perhaps you cheated yourself on something. I'm not saying you cheated on someone, right? I'm not getting that. But I get the sense that you feel like you cheated yourself out of something good, right? Because you thought that there was better for you out there, but it turned out it wasn't better. And you're realizing that, oh, actually, maybe if I hadn't given up on something so easily, or maybe if I hadn't you know, if I hadn't rushed into wherever this situation is, maybe it would have turned out differently. I don't know, something like that. It's going to be different depending on the situation you're in. Obviously, circumstances are different, but I just get this sense of feeling like, oh, I cheated myself, you know, like this situation isn't better. I was better off where I was. It's that kind of feeling, right? But you're kind of working through that now, and I feel like you're just kind of, you know, rather than feeling remorseful or regret or, you know, anything like that, I feel like you're just kind of, you know, trying to come to that place of acceptance of it is what it is. You don't know until I try. I tried, it didn't work out, never mind, you know, it's that kind of thing. Near future, you have the Fool card. So this is you, Aries, that's your energy. So this is you, you know, so I feel like this is you in the near future. Once you've got to that Ten of Swords energy where you're just letting it go, the past, what played out, how things kind of didn't quite pan out. Once you release all of that, you're gonna then just pack up your stuff and move on, right? So you could physically be moving location. You could actually be traveling in the near future. Maybe right now you're kind of feeling stuck because of maybe there's lockdown, you know, a second lockdown where you currently are in the world. So that's why you're not able to physically relocate now, but perhaps you will in the near future. Perhaps you're wherever you are will be coming out of lockdown very soon, right? And then that's when you'll move on and create a new life elsewhere. Doesn't have to be that you physically relocate. It could be just you literally just starting a new chapter in your life, but I see you doing that in some shape or form. When it comes to your feelings, you have the Seven of Cups in the upright, okay? So this is water energy. So this is you exploring possibilities, right? New pathways. This isn't you taking action on any of them. This is you just envisioning what is available to you at this time. There's certain connections that may be coming into view, you know, potential relationships, could be potential you know, aspirations in terms of career. It could even just be about, you know, where are you going to be happiest in terms of location, right? Changing environment. Where would I be happiest? What environment would suit me best at this time? But you're exploring that. You're conjuring up ideas in your mind and exploring the possibilities, right? That's what you want to do. You kind of want to explore your possibilities and what's on the horizon for you at this time. You don't want to give to any set situation right now until it's clearer on where it is that you should be headed, right? Now, when it comes to the energy crowning you at this time, you have the Knight of Pentacles. So things are going to move forward, right? This is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Things are going to move forward. You're going to see positive changes, right? You are moving towards a more stable situation, possibly in love, right? Possibly in terms of your career. It can be different things for different people. But either way, you are slowly moving towards your stability, where you want to plant yourself or with whom you want to plant yourself. But it's going to take some time, okay? So you do have to be aware of that you're not going to get there overnight. When it comes to your advice at this time, you have the Moon in reverse. So this is Cancer energy, also Pisces. So yeah, it's a case of you know now that, yeah, whatever situation you're now moving away from didn't align to your perceived you know, your vision of what it would be. You're aware of that now. There's clarity here, right? Because it's in reverse. If the moon was in the upper, I would say, okay, you're completely unsure, unaware, not seeing it clearly, whatever. But not. It's in reverse. So you are aware, and it's saying, listen, you can't turn a blind eye to what it is you already know. That's what the universe is essentially saying. You know that this past situation that you moved towards thinking that would be better wasn't what it looked like, okay? It was, you know, it really wasn't greener on the other side. And I feel like you are coming to that realization. I feel like it's something that is difficult for you to accept, but you are realizing that it wasn't what it seemed, okay? It was an illusion, okay? when it comes to your, and essentially what the divine is saying here is like, the quicker you come to that realization and accept that, the easier it will be for you to release this pain, okay? Now, when it comes to your advice, this can be people, places, situations, environments surrounding you at this time, so everything outside of yourself. You have the High Priestess, okay? So that is specifically Pisces. So you have very strong Pisces showing up currently, so you could be dealing with a Pisces or a fellow Aries. But I feel like, you know, it's a case of, I think intuitively, whoever you were dealing with is aware that you are now aware. Okay, they're aware that you are now aware, but they're not saying anything. They're just waiting to see what you will do. So maybe you moved into a situation thinking it was better, but actually there was some kind of betrayal there with that Seven of Swords. I don't feel like you did anything that was unsavory. Like, I don't feel like you were betraying someone or cheating someone or anything like that. I feel like if you did move towards one person other than another, it's because you were already separated from someone. I don't feel like there was, you know, like an overlap, if you know what I mean. But I feel like maybe the person you moved towards is the one that was being very deceptive, right? And they're just not saying anything, but I think they're aware that you know this truth, right? They know you know, but they're not saying anything because they're waiting to see what you do with that information, how you act, okay? Now, when it comes to your fears, that's interesting. You have the Sun card in reverse, Leo energy. So you could be dealing with Leo or have it in your chart. But yeah, you're afraid of, I feel like you're afraid that you're never going to experience true happiness in some kind of partnership again. That's what I feel like. Because this probably, to be fair, is in relation to either a work situation or a relationship, okay? And now I'm leaning more towards a relationship, but this could also be a work situation or, you know, a very close friendship. I feel like something was lost in the hopes of gaining something else and it backfired, and now you're afraid that you're never going to experience that kind of warmth from a connection again, right? In whatever shape that is. When it comes to your hopes, however, you have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Someone else had this. I think it was actually Pisces who got this card also in their hopes in the same position. And you do have Pisces showing very strongly in your reading. So if you are dealing with a Pisces, I recommend checking out the Pisces reading also. But regardless, I feel like this is you hoping that you can essentially turn show the cold shoulder to whoever this deceptive person was that you're trying to leave behind, right? You're hoping that you'll have the ability to give them the cold shoulder, even though obviously you're still very much emotionally affected by the situation. And then finally, as a potential outcome, you have the you have the Page of Swords, okay? So that's air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So yeah, I feel like you're taking this as a learning curve. I feel like this is you trying to take this as a lesson, take the information on board, take the experience on board, understand that, okay, this didn't work, therefore I need to take a new approach to the situation, right? I need to cut something out. I need to turn a new page, you know, turn a new leaf, do something different, work on myself, right? There may also be someone that you're keeping a close eye on to see how they behave. Possibly this person you feel has been betraying you in some shape or form. But I feel like, yeah, you're keeping a close eye over them to see what they do. But you're aware of the deception anyway, so you're just seeing what they do at this point. It's kind of like you're both watching each other, right? Because I see him looking down at the High Priestess as well, and I have it laid out there. So I feel like you're kind of, you know, this is you, right? Forget the genders, right? This is just energy. This is you aware, looking at this person like, I know what it is you're doing. I'm just waiting for you to fuck up again, right? And this person is like realizing, you see how she's looking kind of down, not really at him, like, oh shit, they know, right? This is the person realizing intuitively, getting an intuitive download. Oh, they know I lied. They knew I fucked up. They knew I was manipulating them or whatever, right? And waiting to see what you do. It's kind of like being hit in the moment with the truth and waiting to see what happens, or not really knowing where to go from here, but not expressing anything to you. Whereas you are just observing them, watching and waiting to see what happens next. But you're ready to strike if needed. And I don't mean physically strike them, I just mean cut the situation out. Okay. So, oh, I also forgot these cards. Oh my gosh. So let me pull the energies from the Quantum Oracle. I usually do that first, but I forgot in this case. Sorry about that, Aries. So let me do that. Yeah, so what is the energy crowning Aries in this time? You have the healing light. I haven't pulled this one before. That's gorgeous. You have the healing light. So you are being brought into a little space. I feel like you are going to be put inside that little healing ball by the divine, by your, your spirit guides, angels, archangels, your assistance is coming in, right? The team is coming in to provide you healing and unconditional love at this time is what I feel. And that's going to help you move on and move forward towards building true stability for yourself. But it is going to take time. Healing is also going to take time, but I feel like you are starting that process, which is good. Okay. And then when it comes to that potential outcome with the Page of Swords there, you have discovery. So there's something that you're going to come to the realization of, okay? I feel like you're already aware of the deception here, but I feel like, there is some positive that's going to be drawn from this. It's going to help you realize another significant truth, right? From observing this person. So I feel like you already know some of what's been happening, but there's more that you're going to uncover. It's like you're going to get to the heart of the issue, and it's like, boom, that's it. That's what I needed to know. And then once you know, boom, you'll be ready to strike and cut this situation out entirely. So you're waiting on some more information. So there is something that you're not quite aware of yet. You know enough of what you need to know about the situation, but there's like a juicy nugget of information that you're waiting on that's going to really put all the pieces into place. So that's what I feel like you're closely observing this person for at this time, to get that juicy nugget of information. So let's go into the clarifications now. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Wait till we get to it. But yeah, this person, whoever you are dealing with currently, Aries, they are they are a smooth talker. They know how to talk the talk, but they do not walk the walk. I can tell you that now, right? Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. So you have every right to have your backup at the moment for your red flags, seeing those red flags, the hairs on your neck standing up, knowing something's amiss. Yeah. Damn right something's amiss. This person is being deceptive. Really deceptive. And you know it. You know that it's not what they're selling, right? It's not what they're selling. So let's see, almost there. Okay, so let's do it. When it comes to your present circumstances, the Queen of Wands, you have the Empress, that's you, and also Taurus, and you also have the Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, so yeah, I feel like, yeah, generally you're feeling very empowered at this point. I think it's because you're aware that, I think you're feeling empowered is because you know that you're right. You're feeling empowered because you know that your own intuition was right, okay? And you know that rather than getting like batshit crazy over the situation, the best thing you can do is to be empowered, right? You are empowered, you're vibrating at a much higher frequency than you were, and so you're attracting true abundance in your life. But in order to make space for true love to come in, you need to release a connection that isn't giving you that, right? Because whoever you're connected with, and just because you're showing up in this divine feminine energy, doesn't mean you're necessarily a female, or this only applies to the female Aries. This is talking about your divine feminine aspect. We all have divine feminine and masculine energies, as you probably know. So this is your divine feminine being very much empowered again. So that's great. And I feel like this healing that's coming in, this healing light, this orb of light that's coming in for you, is really helping to work on the energy of the feminine and bring healing, so that you can carry forward that love, that unconditional love for yourself, and also bring it into a new environment when you're ready to take that leap of faith in a new connection. So that's very good. Crossing the situation with the 10 of Swords, you have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So that's the pre-Empress card there. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. And you also have the Justice, okay? So that's Libra specifically. So yeah, this situation needs to end. It's only fair and just that it does come to a swift and clean end after it being such an absolute mess. And it's like, it's a case of, you know, because at the moment the situation is kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, currently you're the Empress, you're in a relationship, and you know, there seems to be some kind of committed energy involved. I mean, you're in a committed relationship, right? Let's just say that. But I feel like you know that you need to cut this out. It needs to come to an end, or the situation needs to be transformed. The truth needs to come out. Balance and fairness needs to prevail in order to save and salvage the relationship. Otherwise, you know, there's no point of return, and you have to go back to being a solo player, right? And I don't mean player in that way, but I just mean like, you know, on your own. But yeah, I just feel like with the 9 of Pentacles in reverse, it's like you may not be seeing the fact that you would be just fine on your own. And maybe that's what's keeping you kind of holding on to the situation. You're not aware that you'd be absolutely fine without them, right? But the truth is, it does, this needs to come to an end, right? In order for balance to be brought into the equation. Or at least something needs to end here. Either the lies, the manipulation, and just being completely honest with one another and seeing if you can salvage this, or cutting this situation out completely, cutting the connection, right? It's one or the other, right? Because it cannot continue as it is. So you're going to have to make that judgment call yourself. When it comes to your recent past, the 7 of Swords, it's clarified by the 7 of Swords and the Page of Wands, okay? Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sag, your energy. So I feel like, yeah. Okay, so I really get a sense, because you got the 7 of Swords clarifying the 7 of Swords. There is deceptive energy on both sides, right? Because I feel like, yeah, you left a situation thinking the grass was green on the other side, because the person you're dealing with could be another fire sign, could talk a good talk, make you think that you were heading into a win-win situation, into a guaranteed victory, right? But the reality couldn't be any further from the truth. They were leading you into a dry desert, okay? It's barren, there's nothing growing there, right? Where you're currently at, where you're thriving, okay, with that Empress energy, you have, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, you have greenery all around you, okay? You're abundant, okay? You manifest abundance. There is fertile ground beneath your feet, okay? There's foliage all around you. So you absolutely manifest abundance, okay? But the person you're dealing with led you to a barren environment. Nothing grows there. They gave you the good talk, thinking that you're being led to an oasis, when actually you're being led to dry land. Okay, nothing grows there. And on your side, where there's the deception, is that you thought you were coming out of, a bad situation, or a situation that you thought wasn't all that, and moving towards a better connection, a better person, when in reality you weren't. And I think on some level, mentally, you knew that this decision you were making may be something that you'll come to regret later on. So perhaps you had to make a choice, right? Because you've got the Two of Swords being left there. So I feel like you kind of made your choice without expressing that you had made a choice, i.e. to forget about a past situation entirely and focus on the new. But the reality is, it bit you in the leg, right? It bit you in the foot, it didn't work out, and now you're having to go back and reassess. So it was a gamble, it didn't pay off, but that's not something you should beat yourself up over, Aries, okay? When it comes to your near future, the Fool card here, you have the Queen of Pentacles, so that is specifically Virgo energy, I believe, so you could be dealing with a Virgo. And you also have, is it Virgo or is it Capricorn? It could be Capricorn, actually. Virgo or Capricorn, okay? We'll say either of those. And we also have the King of Swords in reverse, so that is Aquarius. So you could be dealing with any of those signs. But I feel like what it's actually speaking of here, it's like you're having to, you're having to move on. You're having to, walk away from a situation and move on and start a new chapter elsewhere. You have what it takes. You have everything you need to start this new chapter, start something new. So it's important that you recognize the value that you have, so you don't settle for anything less than, although I think you do with the Queen of Pentacles here, and that's why you're walking away from this situation, I feel, because he is heading in the opposite direction to the Seven of Swords. So you are walking away in the near future, I feel, because you understand that you deserve more, because you know your value, you know your worth, you know what you bring to the table, right? You emotionally, energetically, and materially invest, right? You literally sow the seeds and tend to them and nurture them in order to manifest this abundance. So you know what it is that you're carrying, okay? And I feel like you're just done. You're just done feeling like you're having to defend your corner all the time. You're done feeling like you're having to, kind of be, like a prison warden almost, it's like, no, don't do that, don't do this, why are you doing that, why is this happening, things like that. It's like things that you feel like should be common sense, you're having to speak up on constantly, and you're just done with that pretty much. When it comes to your feelings, clarifying the Seven of Cups here, you have the Eight of Wands, and you also have the King of Wands, okay? So that is Leo energy. So you could have Leo in your chart, or you could be getting some very interesting communication from a Leo or someone who has significant Leo placements. This is someone who has their eye on you, I feel. Regardless of the gender, that's just the masculine energy. I feel like someone is taking action, swift action in your direction, or you'll be taking swift action in towards exploring your options, right? Yeah, I do feel like someone is coming in though. Or you could be taking action towards someone. But you see how he's facing the opposite direction. So I feel like there is a specific connection you could be exploring. There is one that would be a good fit for you. But you're not facing that way to take action towards it, right? I feel like you're looking in other directions, other possibilities, right? So you're wanting to play the field a bit, I feel, rather than taking action in a specific direction, possibly trying to avoid looking back at the previous situation that you left this situation for, okay? So I feel like there is something, you are trying to divert your attention away from this, from taking action towards a specific person. Maybe someone you left in the past, I don't know, or left you in the past, I don't know. Could be. Now, when it comes to the energy crowning you, the the Knight of Pentacles, also along with the healing light energy here, you have the Four of Cups in reverse, and you also have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it's like, yeah, it's going to take time, it's a process, but the more you reject the assistance that's coming in, right, or the more you divert your attention away from the assistance that's trying to come in at this time, this healing energy, the more you're only going to be stuck in feeling this pain and regret and, you know, all of that negative stuff that you don't want, okay? And if you stay in that vibration, you're going to attract more of these kinds of connections where there's just deception, right? So it's important that you don't try and just distract yourself from doing the healing, but actually take it step by step, right? And do the work, right? Because there is divine support coming in to help you with that. So the best thing you can do is take that assistance and keep working on yourself. Because I feel like if you just go playing the field, which I feel like with this energy, to be honest, you probably will, I feel like it's not going to bring you fulfillment, right? Because all you're doing is diverting your attention away from where you should be actually taking action. And I feel like that could be towards reconciling with someone from the past, or towards, you know, just your own healing, right, in general. When it comes to your advice, the Moon card in reverse, you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, Earth energy, and you have the Knight of Wands, fire. So yeah, it's like, you know a truth, okay? You know the truth that you're now aware of, that you're coming into full awareness of, is that the person that you gave your heart to in this new relationship, in this new connection, is actually not giving you their love in return, because their attention is elsewhere on playing the field, i.e. cheating, messing around with other people, getting attention from other people, lapping it up, right? It's all about the ego. So this person isn't showing, you know, showing you attention, love, compassion, understanding, support. They're not being present because their attention is diverted in other places, okay? Sorry to be the bearer of that. If you're not aware of that, the bearer of that bad news. If you feel like this reading resonates and you knew something was amiss but you didn't have the confirmation, I feel like this is your confirmation that this person either has actually cheated or is on the cusp of cheating, is flirting with other people, is exploring other possibilities, possibly even meeting other people, okay? If they haven't actually you know, slept with anyone else, I feel like they are potentially going to meet someone else, and seeing what happens with that. So I'm sorry to be the bearer of that news, okay? Now, when it comes to your external influences, clarifying the High Priestess, I feel like that's your person here. You have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and you have the Three of Cups in reverse. So yeah, this person knows that you know. They're not going to give you an apology though, I feel. They're not going to even, this is the worst thing. Not only did they lie to bring you into the equation, not only did they then well, basically abuse your trust and love, they then went off and did, you know, by going off and cheating or, you know, flirting with other people or trying to get attention from other people, they're then also not even offering an apology. They don't feel like they have anything to apologize for. Like I said, they're not expressing anything. They're not saying anything with that High Priestess card. So they're not even going to offer you an apology. They're not even going to try and make it up to you. They're not going to even try and make this work. They're just going to simply say, wow, if you don't want this, if you're not happy, then maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. And it's like, wow, that's what you have to say. awesome. You know, it's literally like that. It's like, well, if you're not happy with how things are, if you can't accept me how I am, you know where the door is. It's that kind of thing. It's like, wow, okay, awesome. So honestly, just what I'm getting from this so far, I don't really like this person's energy, to be honest. I think you deserve way more, Aries, to be honest. Okay, so when it comes to your fears, the Sun in reverse, you have the Fool card again. So that's interesting how your energy is showing up in your fears. And you also have the Eight of Swords in reverse. You're afraid of taking a risk again because you feel like the last time you took a gamble, it backfired tremendously. So you're afraid to take this risk, a leap of faith on love again. But at the same time, you're terrified of not having that reciprocal warmth in a connection, right? That's where you're missing the most, that warmth. So it's a bit of a conundrum. At the same time, you know that you're not stuck in any situation, that there is movement required on your part and you are taking action. It's just you're a bit fearful and a bit anxious while you do it, right? But there's nothing wrong with that. That's normal. As long as the fear doesn't overwhelm you, it's normal to be a little bit anxious on taking a whole new approach, direction, you know. So don't worry about that too much. Now, when it comes to your hopes, the Queen of Swords in reverse, you have the Knight of Pentacles again, and you have the Nine of Cups in reverse again. So yeah, you're hoping that you can kind of give this person the cold shoulder, because ultimately they don't give a crap about your happiness, right? So, and you know that only you are responsible for your happiness. So you want to take steps on moving on with your life and creating stability for yourself, no matter what this person says or does, which is good. And then finally, clarifying the Page of Swords here in your potential outcome, along with this discovery, this juicy nugget of information. You have the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Wands. So yeah, once you get this juicy piece of information that puts everything in place, that's what's going to put your fears to rest. That's what's going to stop you being in your own head, you know, considering all the worst possible scenarios, because you have the truth. You know what the situation is now. So you can be like, okay, I'm aware of this now. I know what this is about. I know what you're about. I know that this is not what I'm creating for myself. This couldn't be any further from what I actually want to manifest into my reality. I'm not starting this connection up. I'm not reconciling. I'm not doing anything when it comes to this connection. So I see you bailing, to be honest, right? You're not giving your wand to the connection. You're not pouring that energy into the connection. You're wanting to prance off elsewhere, just like this person did to you. So, Aries, that was an intense reading. But what I'm going to do now is I will go into an extended with this to get a closer, I'm going to zoom in more into the connection, right, itself. So I'm going to look at how your person feels about you and this connection right now, because obviously we don't get a sense of that in this reading. We'll then have a look at how you feel right now about this person, the connection, although we do get a sense that you're pretty much done. But I want to get to the heart of where you truly feel, because obviously you still have some emotions involved, although we don't see a lot of cups here. Now, and then we'll look at what's likely to play out in this connection, you know, moving forward, and then any additional messages of advice or further guidance that can really help you with, you know, those events in mind. So if you would like to dig deeper into the connection and what's likely to play out between you at this time, you can find the link in the description box below. Otherwise, if this is where we leave your reading, Aries, I just want to say thank you so much for checking this out. I'm so sorry I couldn't be the bearer of, you know, happier news if this is how you're finding or getting the confirmation that you needed. Obviously, I don't feel like you're going to find out someone's cheating on you or being deceptive through this reading. You already have that insight and awareness, if that's the case, I feel. But this could serve as a confirmation. If that's the case, I'm really sorry I had to give you that news. But ultimately that is going to serve you in the long run, because you can come out of this deceptive energy and situation and towards something that is authentic and that is actually rooted in love, unconditional love, and not on ego. So I really hope that helps. Thank you so much once again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.